Well, here I am again, another fireside chat without the fire. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and talk about some of what I was talking about last time. We were talking about the penitentiary. We were talking about the fact that 1 in 3 men, and I have 2 boys, end up in the penitentiary in their lifetime. That's what they say on TV. That's what the statistics say. So basically, like I said, I never even considered that growing up. I never figured I'd ever be in the penitentiary, but I ended up there trying to do what I need to do to be a mother to my kids. That's the position I was put in to go against the law, go against the establishment, become an outlaw, to be a mama to my kids, to take a boat, go to Cuba, be that mother I wanted to be. But anyway, that didn't work out. But like I say, so what I want to do, I want to show you some of the stuff, because I say the best thing you can do if you ever find yourself in one of those places is stick to yourself. Don't try and make friends with nobody or go out on the rec time or none of that. When they open them gates to let you go out and play, you stay in your room. Find something to do, something to occupy your mind, just whatever. And this is my Bible. This is what I did, and I'm going to show you some of the stuff I used to do out there, because I did write it in my Bible too. Now this is the Bible. It tells me this is right there. It's to me and from to the chaplain. I don't know if you can see all that. It's in there, chaplain. And then it was, let's say, memorial service. Oh, I got it. It says where you got it from, I guess. It was a memorial somewhere, so I don't know where it was. But anyway, I put it in the Bible. I don't know what it means now. It's all something, whatever it was back then. It was where I got the Bible from and where I got it from. But look here, this is the way I want to show you. This is the important part. Like, basically, I was just busy. See, like, this is my Braille, because I was studying Braille at one point. You know, I used to do sign language, I used to do Braille. I never did Braille transcription, but I did the studying of it. Never got real good at it, but, you know, it's just something you do. And so while I was in there, I was working on my Braille. And not only that, I even went to the where the Braille Institute, wrote them and asked them for a Braille transcription kit, because I was going to learn while I was in jail. I was going to learn how to Braille transcribe. You know, you got to do it reverse, so that when they read it like this, but when you transcribe it, it got to be reversed, the way, like, looking in the mirror. So anyway, I set off for a Braille transcription kit. It came, but it didn't come to me. They sent it to the chaplain. And so then the chaplain came in and she told me that I'm not allowed to have it in my room. I guess that's understood. But then I said, well, why can't we use it and let everybody else use it? You just start where we can all learn Braille, something like that. And she said, no, we're not going to do it. And so I don't know, she probably sent it back to the Braille Institute, or she kept it. If I was her, I'd have kept it and I gave it to one of my kids or grandkids or something. That's what I would do with it. I wouldn't send it back. But anyway, I couldn't get it. I don't know whatever happened to it, but I know I never got it. And then this is my little legend here that tells me what these little markings is that I made, because all through the Bible I got little markings. And so this is my little legend. And then the other thing I did, look here, this is the John 3:16. And I got it in all kinds of languages. I got it in Greek. I got it in Japanese. This is the Japanese over here, the John 3:16. This is the Spanish, John 3:16. This is the German, John 3:16. This is the Chinese, John 3:16. And then this is the English. This is the one I understood. I understood the English, and then I understood the German, because you know, we was in Germany for a while. And you know, it's a darn shame. You all were in Germany, Q at 5 weeks, and Terrence since he was born there, and y'all don't speak nothing but English. But anyway, well, I used to understand German pretty good, but don't anymore. I use conversational. And same thing with Spanish. I was conversational with Spanish. So I used to be kind of when I was in San Antonio. I was using it all the time. And then I went to Germany, and people come in German hospital can't speak, and they can't speak English. And so I be trying to talk to them in Spanish, but because I had the 2 languages on my brain, I'm starting in Spanish, and then I'm ending up running it into it in German, and I'm getting them all twisted, the Spanish and the German. But I was trying, and so I worked with what I could, and you know, it helped the people when they come in there and you don't understand English. You know, it's helpful to get somebody that at least can kind of work with you a little bit. And I used to, like in nursing school, I took medical Spanish. It was called Spanglish. And it was medical Spanglish, and so you learned the words that you needed to use in the hospital to help people. whatever, help try and translate and stuff like that. So I did the best I could. And so, but the thing, you all were kids. All that comes natural for you, picking up languages and stuff. So it's a darn shame that you all didn't get versed in these languages. I mean, sign language is your first language. You start learning sign before you even speak in English. Kids are pre-verbal. And when they're pre-verbal, they can use sign. They can listen to you. They can respond to commands in sign language. And they can ask questions, when they want something. They can tell you what their needs are. So you don't have to worry about them temper tantrums. But anyway. That was all lost. In Chinese, now, I learned a little bit of Chinese, and when I say a little bit, I mean just that. I mean, I learned like a few words, maybe a hello, goodbye, and yes and no, and, and maybe a color or two. That's all I learned in Chinese. And I had Pembler Chinese. And then as far as Japanese, we were learning Japanese together. In fact, on one of those tapes that you all have that I have put up on the internet, you all were speaking in Japanese. You were counting in Japanese in the dark. You had those little things going on, or those glow in the dark stuff, and you was counting in Japanese. And that was Pembler also. We was on the line learning that stuff. Pembler's really good because it's totally immersion. They don't do this is a fork in English, this is a fork in Chinese, this is a spoon. Totally immersion. They give you complete phrases and sentences, and then you just pick it up as you continue to hear the repetition. So that was that. And like I said, with Spanish, that was something that I've been picking up for years. Even as a child. I mean, even on my birthdays and Christmas and stuff, my mom and them used to get us. Back then, they had no CDs, and then it was in records. So I used to get records and posters and stuff with pictures and things that help you learn that language. But anyway, so that was my little Bible. And then what is this one? Oh, this is Russian. I ain't never learned no Russian, but it was Russian. So I worked with all of that, amongst other things. Like I said, I used to get the Sudoku, and then what else I used to do? I never did crosswords. I was never good at crossword puzzles, because I'm not good at all those little. When you do crosswords, you gotta have a lot of trivial knowledge and stuff like that in your head, and I don't. So I ain't never did crosswords, but I did the word searches. But just making stuff up, reading your Bible, reading the story, getting stuff off the book thing that come around, just go ahead and do that. And then let's see. And then I wanted to explain to you why I would have when they moved us to the other side. See, they talk about innocent till proven guilty. Now, you're not innocent to proven guilty, because if you're innocent to proven guilty, then when you get in these places and they get overcrowded, they shouldn't be able to give you codes, to say how violent you are and stuff like that. Because they could do a random thing, throw your name in a hat and then pull it out. These go to the old side, these go to the new side, something like that. But no, they already, based on your crime that you're in there for, they give you a code. And so they gave me a code of 4 and put me on the old side. And I thank God for my parents and the fact that, when you're raising kids, you don't just give them food, clothing, and shelter. You need to give them kids guidance. You need to give them words to lift them up and tell them, things that they can do in certain situations and stuff like that. Give them kids tools to work with when they're out here dealing with people that don't know how to act. Because, see, my dad used to always send us to the dictionary to learn stuff and words about, the different kind of words that these kids might be using out there. And so you have to know what they mean, so you don't get all offended when people call you stuff and you want to fight them up and stuff like that. Don't even worry about it. You know what it means. You know you're not that, so don't get no kind of attitude about it. So when I'm in this penitentiary, these people gonna give me a number 4, talking about I'm violent and stuff, because that's what I'm in there for, attempted kidnapping, And so they won't give you that because, like I told you, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then the 3s and 4s were the worst. And so they put you over on the old side when they get the overcrowding. And so, because I know I'm not violent, I know that I'm not a threat to none of them COs, them officers, and people that walking around there. Just because they call me a 4, that don't mean I'm going to accept that, and I didn't. Because I like to stay on the modern side. The modern side had the air conditioning, they had the TV, and they opened up the door, and the kids went out there and played the games and watched TV and all that stuff. I stayed in my room, but at the same time, they were able to get out of the room and so go out there and play those games and do whatever they do, go outside and smoke or whatever they do when they're out there. But anyway, so I didn't accept the 4. I didn't accept going to the old side. Like I said, I went on a hunger strike, and I did want to explain that because I went on a hunger strike because the the infirmary was on the new side. It was on the modern side. And so if you you stop eating, you get dehydrated and stuff like that, then they send you over there to the infirmary, and then you get rehydrated and insured and all this other kind of stuff, and then they send you right back. But that's okay. If that's the game they want to play, I'm all in, because I ain't going to eat a darn thing while I'm over there with the roaches and leeks. I'm not staying over here. But anyway, what they ended up telling me, like I said, the girl said, you ain't got to do all that. You just ask for protective custody. So that's why I ended up protective custody. I've been on protective custody ever since I was in there. And look here, when you in that old side with the roaches and leeks, they got 8 to a room. 2 bunk beds in each side in the cell. And they didn't have the TV, they didn't have none of that stuff over there that they had on the new side. Even though, like I said, I didn't watch it, but it was good to have the people able to watch it so they can get out the room. But these people, they opened up the gates, but all they could do is go mingle with each other. There wasn't no TV to watch or anything like that. And so they went out there and they mingled and played and did whatever they do when they get out there with each other. But I didn't stay over there long. I was over there on the new side. But anyway, so like I said, when I was in there, I stayed in the bed, stayed out of people's way. I ain't leave the cell. I just stayed there. But anyway, so what you're trying to do is you're trying not to get in people's way. And then, let's see what else I was going to talk about. I think that was all I was going to say. I had something written down because I wanted to catch up and tell y'all about why I was doing the hunger strike and why it was important to go back to the new side. Because it was all going to be over my dead body before they go ahead and leave me on this side as if I'm one of the 4s. I know I'm not a 4. That's what they call me, but they can call me whatever they want. I know I'm not a 4, so I ain't going to stay over here with the roaches and leaks. It put me where I can be over here, at least be in the air condition. So that worked out. And one thing too, I want to tell you, when you get out there, if you ever get into that kind of predicament, don't get over there trying to out-muscle and try and fight with them officers, because them people go outnumber you every time. Don't even try that. You go ahead and do, if you're going to be aggressive, be passive-aggressive like I was. I did passive-aggressive. I did what I had to do, but it had nothing to do with lashing out at officers and trying to overpower anybody. And these people getting in here, they want to spit on people and stuff. Them officers got tools for that too. So the best thing you can do is be as docile as you can be and try and make it through the situation. Because the first of all, it's just one of these black people, poor man kind of situation. Because if I had wealth like Donald Trump, I would have a team of lawyers on my side, and there wouldn't have been no story about me getting picked up. And then they put me on a $2 million bond. When you watching TV, you look at the bonds that they give these people. You know, sometimes people get $50,000 bonds, they $75,000 bond, $100,000 bond. In fact, the man and the woman that had them kids locked up in the house, and they killed the little kid and they left the poor children in there with the dead body for like a year. They ain't had no furniture, they ain't had no beds, the kids were on the floor. I mean, it was on TV. Kids were on the floor, and they said they didn't have blankets. Now, guess what? They locked both of them people up. The man, it was their mama's kids, and then this was a baby that, one of the booty calls or one of the boy toys or something. He wasn't the parent. It was the mama's kids, and then he was the boy toy. And so anyway, he the one killed them. The boy toy is the one killed the kids, and the mama is an accessory to whatever the thing is. But the thing is, them people got $1 million each. $1 million for him, $1 million for her. Now, how does that work? You know, I would love to know how come I had a $2 million bond on my head. Why they tell me I can't get out unless I can post a $2 million, whatever they got. You got whatever percentage you got to post for $2 million. But it wouldn't have been no good anyway. Ain't no reason for me to get out of there. I need to stay right there because this was South Carolina. Everything I had going on was either in Philadelphia or Texas. And then how you can get a job and maintain anything, because no matter what, you got to keep seeing what's going on in South Carolina until your trial come up, and you got to be in contact with them people. And then you got a job, and now you got to stop your job, get leave or whatever you got to get so you can go to South Carolina to deal with the situation. No. It was just better for me to sit my black tail back in there right where I was, because I was too far away. But like I say, it's always poor man's situation, because if I was wealthy, it wouldn't have mattered that the place was in South Carolina and I was either in Philadelphia or Philadelphia where? Or Philadelphia or Texas. It wouldn't matter, because you just pop on the plane, come up here, or your private jet, come over here and take care of the situation. Anyway, so that's enough about that. I guess I ain't nothing else to say about that. Just wanted to bring it up, clarify the thing, let you know I was going to the old side, and then let you know that, you in a situation that you find yourself in a lot of times because you don't have the money and the people to fight for it. Because you know what the truth of the matter is, I got picked up for attempted kidnapping. That's what the charge was. Now, I never attempted to kidnap. What I had was a plan to kidnap. Bad plan, nonetheless, but it was a plan. So, but when they saw all the stuff in my car and all the stuff that I had, that, I went to the Walmart and bought everything I needed, and I took my boating license online, learned how to do boating online, and then I also bought a motorboat it was, but I bought it while I was there. So I had a plan. But guess what? I changed my mind about that. But I can't go in front of a jury of my 9 peers and try and convince anybody of that. Because again, first of all, you got the public defender, and he's not going to have the resources to go out and find the truth. I had a job. I had a job at the Palmetto Medical Center in Columbia, South Carolina. I had gotten my TB shot, because you got to get TB shot, so, because they're only good for a year, so I had to get a TB shot in order to be able to work. It was going to work in the chemotherapy. It was going to be a chemotherapy unit. I'd already talked to the head nurse. I was hired. I was with the traveling nurses, so they had me set up in an apartment. But I can't go to trial with that and hang my hat on that idea, because who knows? They could say that was just a plan. She was out here to kidnap these kids. That was just a cover. So who knows? So I'm not gonna go to trial with that. So I accepted the plea bargain like black people do. We go ahead and accept the plea bargain because you don't want to take your chances in front of the jury. You're sitting there, all them human faces. All them human faces looking at you, and a lot of them probably not even your complexion. And you sitting up there in front of those people, and they got your life is in their hands. So no, I'm not gonna go up there with this story about I had the job and I got the TB. I got the TB shot and I had the apartment. I can't go with that. So I'm going to just go ahead and take the plea bargain and take my chances. And so that's exactly what I did. Took the plea bargain. But anyway, I just hope you all never ever find yourselves on the wrong side of the law. And if you do, I hope you make it through. Take some of this advice. If you find yourself a guest of the county, state, or federal, just stay to yourself. I can't stress that enough. It is no advantage to getting out there trying to get to know people and trying to intermingle with them folks. But anyway, the other thing I was going to talk about is another scenario when I was thinking about, sometimes I'm thinking about these things of driving down the street and looking at, driving down the street in the car, watching whatever, and then something comes. I see something and it comes to mind for me. But anyway, one of the things I was thinking about is that somebody coming up to me, or the little boy with the prosthetic, somebody coming up to me and seeing me with my 2 kids. And then he say, like, I see you got both of your kids got 2 arms. He said it would benefit me greatly, because we all agree having 2 arms is an advantage, right? Nobody gonna say no, having 2 arms is a burden. You don't need them both. It's just extra weight to carry around. Nobody gonna say that. So the man come up there talking about, I see you got 2 kids and both of them have both of their arms. It would be a great advantage to me if you let me take one arm from each one of those children. Now I'm supposed to hand my kids over to that man and let him take an arm from each one. Why would I do that? That's taking an advantage away from my children. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to say no. And I don't care how many times he asks me, my answer is always going to be no. But then the man keep coming at me. He come at you more aggressively. He come at you more assertively. And then he just stop asking. Now he's demanding that you give him the kids so he can extract an arm from each one of them. And I said no. And I stand in front, I block my kids, do everything I can. And so now what he do? He go get the strong arm of the law. So strong arm of the law is on his side. And they tell him I gotta give the kids up. And so now so they take the kids. They take the kids and they go over here and extract an arm from each one of them. But they did that. But it was against my will. I had nothing to do with it. I fought with everything I could. There was no fight left in me. And that's the only way they can get my kids and extract an arm. Now let's say we give another scenario. We'll say the same thing. The man come up to you. He see your kids got 2 arms, 2 kids with both arms. He wants them arms. It's a great advantage to him to have one of those arms from each one of them. Now, this time, he offered me $5 million. He said, I'm going to give each one of those kids $5 million. And then for life, they have access to having a prosthetic. the most advanced prosthetic of the time. They can get it exchanged, the prosthetic, whenever they want. If they want to change in a prosthetic because there's a new one on the market, then come right on in. We'll change that prosthetic and they can have the top of the line prosthetic. So here I am looking at that situation. That's $5 million for each kid. $5 million, money and everything. But I'm telling you, if you got $5 million in your pocket when you set off in life, when you about to set sail and get the wind underneath your wings and advance out into the world, $5 million can be a whole lot of help. And it could probably help with your kids and grandkids. You probably have to for life, a generation or two, $5 million if you do it right. So then you got your two arms, because you got the natural arm, and then you got the prosthetic arm. Prosthetic arm could be even better than the natural arm. You know, it could be a bionic arm or something. So there you go. you got two. So then what I'm doing as a mother, I'm supposed to think, do I want to do this? Because it's the ball is in my court, I get to decide, because the man is asking me, that's my kid. So my answer, I would think about it strongly. I would consider all the pros and cons and all this other kind of stuff. But I would still have to say no. I would still have to say no to that man. I would say no because there's a lot of advantages, but there will be some disadvantages. There are advantages that you haven't thought of, but there will also be disadvantages that you haven't thought of. So no matter what, the advantages or the disadvantages, the advantages and the disadvantages, who's going to have to deal with that? Who's going to have to live with that all of their lives? Not me. My kids are going to have to live with those advantages and disadvantages of having that prosthetic arm, going out there to get exchanged and do all this other kind of stuff. So that's not my call. What I would do is ask that man, what's that phone? Oh, that phone, that's the, I leave that alone. That's my Nest going off. I got it set up. It is going off, let me know there's motion detected. But anyway, so the kids are the ones who have to live with the advantages and disadvantages of me giving them over to have their arms extracted, and advantage taken away from them. So no, you all the money in the world, no, don't do it. I'm not gonna do that to my kids. But what I'll ask you to do is come back when they're 21. When they're 21, you make them that offer and see what they say. If they give you their arm, well and good. If they going to keep their arm, that's all well and good. If it was my arm, I'd give it. Which one you want? Do I get to say? Do I get to choose left or right? I don't even care if they say, no, you don't get to choose. We select which arm. I don't care. Here, take it. But I want to deal with the $5 million and the prosthetic. You see what I'm saying? So I can make that decision for me, but I can't make that decision for my young. And I wouldn't make that decision for my young. I ask the man to come back when these kids are older and they can make their own decision. But anyway, that's another me looking at this situation and the way it turned out, and these people taking advantages from my children, and then they want me to just hand them over. And then they don't even try and meet me in the middle. See, when somebody respect you and they honor you, when somebody value you, then what they're going to do is like the second man did in the scenario. They're going to try and meet you halfway. They're going to find some common ground, something that can make you decide that maybe this is the best option for me or for the kids or for me and the kids or whatever. But what they're going to do is try and work things out. What they're not going to do is force something on you. It require you to do something that they know you don't want to do. Something that they know you stand against. And so that's the way they do. Maybe that's what they do in small town USA. In small town USA, I guess when somebody asks you to do something and you say you're not going to do it and you never do it and all that, I guess they figure that, if you go against them, if they go against your wishes, and do something that you don't want them to do, all you can do is get mad. All you can do is roll your eyes and talk about them real bad. See, that's small town America. You think they can just do whatever they want. They're going to walk over you, and then all you can do is just be mad, roll your eyes, talk about them real bad. You're ruin their reputation, ruin their good name. But I'm telling you, I'm not from small town USA. I know there's more that a person can do when you won't go there and shove some mess down their throat and then decide that they gotta go with the flow. There's other options. But anyway, in 23 minutes on this one, and small town USA is not a good idea. Don't walk around thinking that everybody is gonna be just your footstool, because they won't. But Let me turn this off. That's all I got to say about that. Because it's 23 minutes. Bye. I'm pushing the wrong button. There ain't no button. Where the heart? Let's turn the thing off. Oh, there we go.